Hey, happy summer. It's August 12th. We're going to do a market update. Here we go. All right, so it's August 12th. The sun is shining finally. I think it's been the wettest summer any of us have ever experienced. Things are growing like crazy. My grass is like a foot tall. My mustache is growing. Things are looking up. But if you've looked at the news at all in any capacity, you've probably seen something to do with the real estate market. And in a lot of cases, it's doom and gloom, what's happening. But let's break it down, because what I'm finding in this market specifically, more than probably anything I've ever been a part of, is it's very specific to areas, to price point, and to product. For example, so in the end of July, the numbers were that we've seen sales down on the year 12%. We saw an increase of listings almost 70%. So we're seeing a lot more properties, less sales, and then prices have come down since the peak of 2024, which was June, 4%. So prices are down, sales are down, inventory's up. Is that across the board? Well, no, because there's different sectors being affected differently. For example, apartments and townhomes in the north side of the city, northeast side of the city, surrounding areas, smaller towns, things like that, are getting affected more because we're seeing such a spike in inventory. So prices are going to be affected on those properties because there's way more to purchase from. In addition to that, builders are building a lot more spec homes. So they want to get them sold, so they're doing some pretty crazy incentives to get them sold, right? So for example, I was at a builder yesterday that they'll match your down payment up to 10% of the property value. So if you spend $600,000, you put 60 grand in, they'll match that. Some builders are doing legal basement suites for free, so things like that. So when we start to see builders making big incentives to sell properties, it will affect the resale market as well. And we're seeing that in those lower price points. But the higher price points are going crazy. Anything over $1 million seems to be a bidding war, especially something that's renovated. If you're looking for a $2 million acreage, it's harder to find right now. So it is very specific to the property type, and it has been kind of flipped on its head. In most cases, the lower price points sell faster than the higher price points. This year, the luxury market is going off. So if you're looking to purchase or if you're looking to sell, it's worth having a conversation, because we can break down where you're at in the price point scale, in the property type scale, and what it means for you specifically, because it means something different for everybody. Just because the news is forecasting the biggest, baddest thing, it doesn't necessarily mean that for you, because your property type might fall into something that is selling really fast, and there's a lot of demand. The other thing to factor in is we're coming out of summer, right? We're halfway through August. July, August are typically slower months because people's focus is elsewhere. They're on holiday mode, kids are out of school, things like that. Come September, we typically see the turnover start to happen again. So I would expect, if you're on the market right now and you're having a harder time selling, I would expect that if you hold off a bit, or if once we start to see September roll in, that we'll get more action on these properties and things like that. So whatever you're doing, give us a call. We'd love to talk. We'd love to meet for coffee, whatever. You know how to get a hold of us. Have a great summer. Talk soon.